Good afternoon, Christian woman. I'm doing a little work today. Happy Saturday. I hope you're doing well. I'm just doing a little work, creating some courses and such, so here I am. So listen, I wanted to stop by and give you an example of a red flag for me when I was dating. Again, I'm no longer dating. I'm married, so I dated with the intention of marriage, and that's what I got, marriage. Okay, so but I'm giving back. I'm giving back, as they say, because seeing a lot of heartache out there. So I just wanted to stop by and just give my own personal example, and I'll just sprinkle little examples in here and there. I was on a date with a gentleman many years ago. Seems like eons ago, and we were at this nice restaurant, and there was a wait. This may have been our second or third date. Now, I had already observed some temperament issues early, which was a yellow flag for me, but I addressed them in the moment. So what's that about? Or you seem to be a little prickly, with the hostess. You seem to get a little overwhelmed. What's that about? And he would explain that, and I would say, okay, that makes sense considering your perspective, but I was still observing. And he had one more date, and I was going to say, I'm going to take a step back. Doesn't mean the person was a horrible human being or anything like that. But again, you have to look at it from the perspective of what's a red flag for you, and you have to think about the long haul. What is this person going to look like in my life, in my family, for the rest of my life if I choose this person? That's how you have to think of this. Okay? Yes, enjoy the romance and all that stuff, but you have to be discerning. So this person, we walked into a restaurant, and there was a wait. And there was a military gentleman, because he had on his uniform, and it looked like he was with his family or a couple of friends. This was so long ago, I can't remember. But what I do remember very well is, as I always do, I looked to that person and said, thank you for your service, because he was in the military. And I always have a soft spot in my heart for the men and women in the military and in law enforcement. Okay? The gentleman I was dating made a face that he did not hide, like while the military gentleman was looking. And I looked at him and said, when we got to where we were going to sit, and I said, are you okay? He said, what was all that about? I said, what about? He said, thank you for your service. I said, because I was thanking him for his service. That's what I believe. And he said, well, I don't like that. I'm against the wars. And then he started going off on a tangent. And I said, well, I appreciate your thoughts on this. You have the right to think that, but I think something differently. Well, I don't agree with that. And I think that's ridiculous. I said, okay, you can think that. Okay. And we went on with our dinner. Okay. I wasn't in danger or anything like that. And I was there for that dinner. And so we finished our dinner, but there was not another date, because you've got to think about, now this might be something small for someone, but I'm not looking at the fact that you disagree. I was looking at temperament, the inability to see another person's perspective, the inability to emotionally regulate. He couldn't even get his face together as a grown man in front of someone who is sacrificing their life for his freedom. So it was less about the disagreement on the topic. I can live with that. I'm grown. But it was the visceral reaction and the inability to manage temperament. And if you're behaving like that on a date with other grown folks on a good day, what are you going to do when life is really stressful? You got to think about the bigger picture. So that's just an example of what I mean about a yellow or red flag. Tailor this unique to you. Again, this is about your walk, okay? Your walk. What's important to you. It's not about what the other person thinks and they don't agree with whatever it is. Whatever it is, expand it out. Stand within what's important to you and think about the big picture. All right, gotta go. Ciao.